22 hours. Two crime scenes 5 miles apart. The same men, the same stolen white Mercedes, the same ammunition. In our last episode, we introduced you to Damian McDaniel, a 23-year-old man from Fairfield. According to state and federal court records, he's an alleged hitman accused of killing 18 people in 14 months. Today, we're tackling new court records that have new evidence tying more things together in one of the most prolific criminal cases in Birmingham's modern history. This is Six on Your Side Investigates. Each week, we take you inside local cases and the courtroom with original interviews, data, evidence, and no speculation. I'm your host, Jenn Horton, an investigative reporter with 20 years on the job covering violent crime and government corruption. Let's get into it. Newly found court records by the prosecution is linking weapons and evidence to a significant mass shooting in Birmingham in 2024. Prosecutors are sharing this information because they want to combine two different cases from two different days in September of 2024 and try those cases together, specifically for the defendant, Damian McDaniel. I'm going to walk you through it. We're going back to September 2024, 5 Points South, the Hush Lounge. It is a Saturday night in one of Birmingham's busiest entertainment districts. Here's the new information. Prosecutors say a stolen white Mercedes sedan was idling in an alley next to the parking deck attached to Hush. According to court records filed May 6, 2026, an FBI agent reviewed phone records placing Damian McDaniel, Naquan Lawler, and Krishan Bruce in that area just before 11 p.m. Carlos McCain parked in that deck 4 minutes after he walked out with a group of people. Court records say Damian McDaniel, Lawler, Bruce, and another man who's unnamed left the Mercedes and ambushed the group of people. Then they got back in the car and fled. 4 people were killed, 17 wounded. Anitra Holloman, Carlos McCain, Roderick Patterson, Taj Booker, all dead. The next day, the Birmingham police chief told reporters that they believed the shooting was a product of a targeted shooting where they targeted someone at Hush Lounge, and that targeted person was among the dead. Less than 24 hours later, Sunday, September 22nd, the same stolen white Mercedes now parked across the street from a house in Eastlake. According to court records, it sat there 2 hours. Phone records, again, putting McDaniel and Lawler in that area during this time. It's 9:18 p.m. The victim, Jamarcus McIntyre, walked out of the house with 3 other people. Court records say McDaniel, Lawler, and Bruce left the Mercedes and ambushed this group. McIntyre was shot and killed, his backpack stolen. A woman was found shot in the front yard. Another man showed up at a hospital later that night. According to those court records, Larry Rollins allegedly sent photos of McIntyre and his home address to McDaniel at 6:16 p.m. that night, more than 3 hours before McIntyre stepped outside. At 9:38 p.m., 20 minutes after the shooting, DVR footage captured the Mercedes arriving at 608 39th Place in Fairfield. Court records say McDaniel and Bruce were wearing masks. Lawler's had been pulled off his face. They were carrying guns and a vacuum-sealed bag of marijuana. They got inside McDaniel's Impala and left. The next morning, McDaniel allegedly called Lorenzo Wiley, another defendant in this case. Wiley drove to Fairfield and covered that Mercedes up with a tarp. Now it's time to talk about ammunition, and this is significant. According to these new court records, 2 different kinds of ammunition were found at 2 different crime scenes. These 2 crime scenes we've been talking about. 2 .23 caliber casings and 300 blackout. 300 blackout, according to those court records, a relatively uncommon type of caliber of bullet. We're going to tie in now the federal case. McDaniel texted Juan Miguel Nation in what prosecutors describe as a specific order for caliber 762, 223, 556, 300 blackout, 40, and 9. Nation replied 2 days later that he had, quote, gotten the bullet. Then on July 14th, notably weeks before the Hush mass shooting, McDaniel sent a second text. This time, he was more specific. 10 boxes of the .223, but he wanted, in his words, quote, the green tips, or the best ones they've got. 3 boxes of 300 blackout, 3 boxes of 762. Nation confirmed that he had 35 to 40 rounds of the 223 green tip. Why is this important? The green tip 223 is a steel core round, meaning it is designed to pierce soft body armor. Court records show that on October 4th, 2024, when investigators searched the Mercedes at 39th Place in Fairfield, they found McIntyre's stolen backpack and 300 blackout rounds. The same uncommon caliber recovered at both crime scenes was now sitting in the car prosecutors say was used at both crime scenes. Then on October 5th, 2024, the day after the Mercedes was searched and those same rounds were found inside, McDaniel allegedly texts Nation to, quote, move the guns. The new court filings adds one more piece. The 223 caliber casings recovered from Hush Lounge and 81st Place South were submitted to the National Integrated Ballistic Information Network, or NIBIN. The result? Those shell casings were fired from the same weapon, both at Hush and the next day in Eastlake. We want to go back to that filing that was made in early May. As it stands right now, these are 2 separate cases, the Hush Lounge mass shooting and the killing of Jamarcus McIntyre in Eastlake. They happened 24 hours apart. Back to that filing, though. Right now, the state is asking the court to combine these into one case so it can be tried at one time for Damian McDaniel. As it stands right now, the court has not ruled on this case, nor the defense has responded to argue against it if that is something that they desire to do. As soon as the court rules or the defense makes their motion, we'll be right back here to let you know the updates. As it stands right now, Damian McDaniel is scheduled to stand trial in January. This could be a key ruling. If combined, these 2 cases could potentially be tried together sometime in 2027. Except as it stands right now, he's only scheduled to be standing trial for Jamarcus McIntyre's death, and that would be in January of 2027. So this ruling by the judge in this motion could be significant in terms of the way the trials are outlined and they begin to prosecute these defendants going forward. To get the full scope of this case, you might want to go back to episode 2 and review that. We go into deep detail as to what this case is, all the defendants, and if you're just hearing about this in this episode, that would be a key episode to go back and listen to play catch up. We want to make sure that we're answering all your questions. If you have any questions for us or a case that you want us to cover, please email me, jennifer.horton@wbrc.com. Put podcast in the subject line to make sure it's flagged for me, and we'll answer those questions and take a look at those cases right back here on this podcast. And if this kind of reporting matters to you, please go ahead and subscribe. We don't want you to miss anything. Thanks for being here. We'll see you right back here next week. Bye for now.